Come for my tourism Pathshala. It will transform your dream into reality.
Good evening, all of my UGC-NET tourism aspirant student. This is our question paper analysis series of June 2020. These questions are based on research and statistics. The first question number 1 from June 2020 question paper. In testing hypothesis, type 1 error is committed when? This question is based on hypothesis testing. Everybody know hypothesis testing. There is a two type of error, type 1 error and type 2 error. Type 1 and type 2 error. In testing the hypothesis, there is two types of error we can make. We may reject H0. H0 means null hypothesis when H0 is true, or null hypothesis is true. When we may accept H0 means null hypothesis when is false, when in fact H0 is not true. The former is known as type 1 error and later is type 2 error. So type 1 error is the when we reject null hypothesis when it is true. When null hypothesis is true, we reject, that is the type 1 error. When null hypothesis false, null hypothesis false, we accept null hypothesis, that is called type 2 error. The type 1 error is denoted by alpha error and type 2 error is denoted by beta error. So this is the decision H02 with correct decision is a type 1 error. We reject H0 is a correct decision, and H0 false we accept H0 is a type 2 error. This is also correct decision. So we have to remember two things. So type 1 error and type 2 error. Type 1 error, in the case of type 1 error, we reject null hypothesis when it is true. And in type 2 error, we accept null hypothesis when it is false. Our next question number 6. Which one of the following statement is correct? These statements are based on statistical test. To apply the first statement, to apply the sign test, each pair of score should be independent of all other pair. This statement is true. Statement B. The cross-score-Wallis H-test is score-dependent statistics. This is a cross-score-Wallis H-test is a non-parametric statistical test. This statement is not true. Is that score-dependent statistics they have given? It should be independent statistics because this is a non-parametric statistics. In the case of Z-score criteria is applicable to skew distribution. This statement also the wrong. The Z-score criteria is applicable to the normal distribution, not skewed distribution. P-value equal to 0.01 imply that the power of the test is used is 99%. This statement also wrong. If beta 0.01, power of the test is related to beta test, should be 99%. The power p-value means the calculated of the probability. Now we have to remember in social science, in marketing research, generally two related group or pair, we are interested to examine the differences when the observation are recorded as before and after. Here, the pair observation are recorded on the same individual or item. In this situation, we use pair t-test. The thing is, when we use the pair t-test, if the assumption of pair t-test is not fulfilled, then we use pair sign t-test. That means pair sign test is the non-parametric version of pair t-test. When we use the sign test, for example, if a college administrator is interested in knowing how particular 3-week training on basic statistics affects students' grade in the statistics paper, In this situation, grading situation, in this situation, pair t-test is not applicable because of the grade, that is the observation are given in ordinal scale as A plus, B plus, etc. But pair sign t-test can be applicable because it needs only to convert the observation into plus or minus sign. So sign test is the case of independent and ordinal scale. Assumption: the test need following assumption to work. The pair of measurement are independent, number 1. Number 2, measurement scale is at least ordinal with each pair. Ordinal is the rank order and the variable under study is a continuous. This all case we use the sign test. So these are the basic difference when we use the pair t-test and when we use the sign test. Now move on our next question, question number 7. This question is based on concept and example of systematic random sampling. They have given the example: in Chinese hospital, all the coronavirus suspected patient are arranged chronologically according to their height from lower to higher, and then every fourth patient is taken for test. This type of sampling is called systematic random sample because they have providing the system. They have taken chronologically according to their height of the patient, and then every fourth patient is taken for the test. So this is the systematic random sampling. Systematic random sampling is a probability sampling method that involves acting a sample involves as a sample from a population by using a regular interval and random starting point. So this is a systematic random sampling is the correct option. Next, our question is based on application of t-test. They are also given. Application of t-test is subject to the following assumption except when application of t-test applicable for the following assumption: the sample distribution of mean is normally distributed. Mean should be normally distributed. Each score of the dependent variable occurs at random. Samples are taken from the population having an identical variance. These 3 statements are correct. But measurement are in terms of ordinal scale. This is wrong. Previous question we have observed it should be the nominal scale in the case of assumption of t-test. The t-tests are not appropriate to use with the ordinal data because ordinal data has no central tendency. It also has no normal distribution. So we have to remember the value of ordinal data are evenly distributed, not grouped around a midpoint. Because of this, t-test of ordinal data would have no statistical meaning. Now we move on our next question. The question number is based on non-parametric test. All of the following are true about non-parametric test except A, D, E. These 3 statements are right. Non-parametric tests are otherwise known as distribution free test. This is true. Next, C. When F0 and Fe are completely coincide frequency, the value of chi-square is plus 1.0. Observed frequency and expected frequency. F0 means observed frequency, Fe means expected frequency completely coincide. The value of chi-square should be plus 1.0. This is case of C. A case of B, in non-parametric test, the dependent value has a normal distribution. This is wrong. In the non-parametric case, the dependent value should be the skewed distribution. Statement D, the calculated value of chi-square is always positive in case of non-parametric statistics. True. And except no. B and C, B and C are B and C are not true. The calculated value of chi-square is always positive. B except B. The question is, all of the following are true about non-parametric state except B and C. These two statement are not true in the case of non-parametric statistics. Each pair of scores should be independent all of other pairs for applying the sign test. In the case of non-parametric statistics, B and C are not true. They have given the non-parametric statistics dependent variable has a normal distribution. Is the statement wrong? It should be skewed distribution case of non-parametric statistics, and when observed frequency and expected frequency completely coincide, the value of chi-square is positive 1.0 is not true. So B and C is the wrong. Except B and C, A, D, E are right. Now we move on. Now we try to understand the important features of non-parametric statistics. Non-parametric statistics are distribution-free statistics. In the case of data are normal. Dependent variable is measured at nominal and ordinal level, and distribution of dependent variable severely skewed. Now we move on our next question. Question number 44. This question is based on statement regarding the normal curve. Which of the following statements regarding the normal curve are true? B and E. The case of normal curve is bilaterally symmetrical. Bilaterally symmetrical. It is true. And mean, median and mode coincide. This is also true. B and E too. So normal curve is a symmetry, bilaterally symmetrical, mean, median, mode are all equal, and bell-shaped curve. The normal distribution are used to represent the real value random variable. Those distribution are unknown. They are used very frequently in the area of natural science and social science. Normal probability distribution curve is the bell-shaped curve. This is called the bell-shaped. This is the bell-shaped curve, and bilaterally symmetrical and continuous frequency distribution curve. Now we can understand the below. This is a bell-shaped curve. Curve is bilaterally symmetrical. Mean, median, mean equal to median equal to mode. This is the equal. So these are features of normal curve. Now we move on our next question. Our next question is based on statement of statistics. Which of the following statements are correct? B. Statement B. Standard deviation of means measures sampling error. This is true. In a positive skew distribution, mode less than median, median less than mean. This is right. And conbuck alpha is measures of reliability test. This is also true. But A and D statement, variation of the not true variation of the sample mean from population mean is the standard error of the difference between the mean. This is not true. It is called the sampling error. It's called the sampling error. This is called the sampling error. Not normal error, not standard error. This is called the sampling error. And increase the sample size, decrease the power of the test. It is not to increase the sample size, increase the power of test. So BCE is the right. So standard error means used to refer to standard deviation of the various sampling statistics like mean and median. And there are several types of reliability tests, such as there are several different ways of assessing reliability. Total correlation test, retest reliability, split half reliability, factor and principal component analysis, inter-rater reliability. The choice of method depend on the need of the investigation. These are different types of reliability. Now we move on our next question. Question number types of qualitative research. Question is based on question number 66. Question is based on type of qualitative research. They have given the phenomenology based on the human experience. So studying human experience based on the idea that the human experience is determined by contact. So A1 is correct. Second, ethnography is the study of culture. Studying culture through method that involves become highly active within the culture. This is also true. Now B2 also correct. C, grounded theory. C is related with 4, posing question about information provided by respondent or taken from historical record. This is a grounded theory. And D, case study. The case study is related to 3, describing the documented history of a person, group or event. So option number D is the correct. A1, B2, C4 and D3. Now we move on our next question. Next question is based on conjoint analysis. The steps in conjoint analysis. This is also called qualitative research. Research plan of conjoint analysis comprises the following steps. Arrange these steps. Number 1. Step number 1. Decide attribute and label. Number 2. Rate or rank it. Number 3. Run dummy variable regression. This 1, 2, 3 is a correct sequence. But step number 4. Interpret the path worth coefficient. Number 4. And finally T. Assess internal and external validity. This is the last step. Assess internal and external validity. So these 5 steps means D. Option number D is the correct. A, B, C, E, T. Now we move on our next question. This is based on the factor analysis. This question based on following steps are involved in the factor analysis exercise. Arrange them in order in which these are taken. Step 1. Construction of correlation matrix. Number 1. Number 2. Selection of the number of factors to be retained in the final solution. Number 3. Factor rotation. Number 4. Checking the model fit. Number 5. Interpretation of rotate factor solution 5. So simple random. So option number A is the correct. The steps of simple model of marketing process based on factor analysis. Steps on problem formulation. Step 2. Construction and examination of correlation matrix. Step 3. Selection of an appropriate factoring technique. Step 4. Decision regarding the number of factors to be retained in the final solution. And step 5. Factor rotation for enhancing interpretability of the solution. And step 6. Substantive interpretation. And finally step 7. Check the model fit. So 7 steps involve the conducting factor analysis. So my dear student, these are the important questions of research and statistics. In my previous video, I have already discussed 24 UGC-NET question paper, 20 research and statistics, 23 research UGC-NET question paper, 2022 research and statistics question paper, 2021 research and statistics question paper, and this is the research and statistics question paper of June 2020. So these are the question paper you definitely get from my playlist, and you follow this channel and you can try to understand this question, and I expect it should be clear your ideas and conception. Keep touch and go ahead for your exam. Best of luck.